Okay, so we're going to continue where we left off with our solid that we created in the previous lesson. And what we're now going to do is take a look at an additional feature, the one that is called Extruded Cut. And what we're going to be able to do with this is make cuts in our solid. And for this example, what we want to do is add a circle through, or a hole through the entire object. And that will start by sketching a circle on a particular plane. Now in the previous example, we started from sketch, created the two-dimensional sketch, and then extruded in the direction to create the solid. We're going to work a little bit more efficiently in SolidWorks with this one, and we're going to switch up the order. We'll start in the features first, select Extruded Cut, and it's going to say select the plane in which you want to sketch the surface on. And so we'll just left click on the top plane, and then notice it toggles us over into sketch mode. So here, from this point, I can left click on the circle, and again we're just going to, with our pencil, drag in a circle, roughly locating it where it should be. Again, not worrying about exact locations because we'll use smart dimensions again to fully define our sketch, and we'll do that by defining the diameter and then locating the center in relation to two edges. So let's go ahead and do that. Left clicking on Smart Dimension, I will specify the diameter, and let's say we want our circle to be 0.5, and so we have a 0.5 inch diameter circle. I'm going to use the snap points for the center to locate the center. So from this edge, the center of our shape is going to be 1 inch from the left edge. So I'll type 1, hit return. And then from this edge, it will be 0.75 inches, remembering that the overall length was 2 inches and the overall height 1.5 inches. And so that will locate our circle right in the center. And down below, fully defined, so we know we're in good shape. Now, if I were to actually add another dimension, let's say that I left click the center and take my snap point, and let's say we just add, notice that's 1 inch, a dimension from the right hand edge. Now I get a message that's saying I'm trying to make this sketch over defined. And if I do that, SolidWorks is going to have trouble trying to figure out what's relevant. And so an overdefined sketch is just as bad as an underdefined. What we really want is our sketches to be fully defined, where our sketch is all in black. So we do have an option that says leave this dimension driving, make this dimension driven, but what we want to do is simply cancel this. We don't want to add that. Notice I get the little message. We're no longer overdefined, and so we're looking good. So I've completed my sketch, fully defined. Now if I come over here and click Exit Sketch, what happens is I now am directly in the mode that I want to be in, which is I now want to make my cut, my extruded cut, so that I now have a hole going through. So what are my options this time? Well, again, looking at the blind, that's going to select the depth of the hole. If I were to expand the options, the first one right there is through all, and so I can click that, and SolidWorks will adjust the blind so that it goes completely through the solid. A couple of other options that you have, if that was, let's say we drew on a midplane, I can select the second direction, which will turn off. We have the thin feature contour again, which is kind of neat. And of course, we have our draft, and so if I wanted to create a tapered hole, I can do that as well. So pretty simple stuff with the click of a button. So let's just keep this a non-tapered hole, so it's going to be a 0.5 diameter circle or cut all the way through. And when we're all set there, we're going to click the green check, and so there's our object, and now we've put a hole through. If I left click on my mouse, on the wheel, I can drag that and see that in fact the hole is completely through. And notice my feature tree now has the second cut. I'm going to go and select View Orientation, bring it back to Dimetric, and then do a File, Save As, or you can just actually click Save, keep it under the same part. And I'll call this Intro Part 2. You can keep it the same if you'd like. And we've now experienced an extruded cut. So up next, what we're going to do is add a couple of modifying features to this. So if you keep your workspace open, we will continue with taking a look at fillet as well as chamfer.